Hello and welcome to our first ever Primus Propositions vodcast. Hear the lion roar. My name is Minty and I'm the product team manager here at Primus, and I'm your host today, joined by my absolutely wonderful co-host Nikki Hemmings, who is our GI proposition manager. Before we do our introductions to ourselves, I want to talk to you about what is this vodcast and what are we going to do. So we are here to talk to you about the Primus proposition, the industry news and updates, and generally give you a bit of a feel for what's been happening here at Primus. For those of you that are watching that aren't part of the Primus network, where have you been all our lives and why aren't you joining us now? The email address, vodcast@primus.co.uk, is on the right-hand side of my background. Could be the left, I don't know. I'm on Zoom because we're in a weird world right now. Please feel free to email us and drop in any notes on what you would like to see on the podcast, as well as if you haven't joined the network yet, we'll put you in touch with the right person that can. So what are we going to cover? We've got some amazing subject matter coming up in the next couple of months. You'll see a new vodcast released every month. This month is a belter for the inaugural vodcast, and I think you're going to love hearing the lion roar this month. So without further ado, who am I? I am Minty, I'm the product team manager. If you're part of Primus, if you don't know who I am, then good God, we need to meet. I am the product team manager, and my team are on hand to assist you with all of your weird and wonderful cases. Whether you've got a client with complex income and you don't know which lender is going to take into account, if you've got a protection customer that've got a load of medical disclosures, or a GI case where it's a house built on a floodplain and it was set on fire 2 years ago, my guys are on hand to tell you who can place that case and who can look after your client. Because there should never be a case that you're turning away from. We should have something on our proposition to assist you. But we don't just help with that, we help with ancillary products. But more on that to come. So Nikki, I'm going to hand over to you now. Tell them all about you.
Thank you, Minty, for that wonderful introduction there. Again, I'd just like to welcome everybody to our first podcast. Absolutely fantastic and exciting new thing that we're doing here. So as Minty said, I am the GI proposition manager, but I do also manage the conveyancing proposition as well. Looking to bring you the market leading proposition in both of those areas. And to help you understand our offering on the conveyancing proposition, we have the lovely Matt Brown from ULS.
Thanks, Nikki. And before I start, I really want to go at that. So can I hear the lion roar? Nice one. So yeah, I'm Matt Brown, National Account Manager for ULS Technology. So I look after the Primus conveyancing proposition. So in terms of my background, I started in financial services in 2004, worked for a large retail bank, did lots of roles, predominantly in the branch network in the early days in my career. So I ran some branches, learned a lot of sort of managerial skills through the bank network. And then in 2011, I got into mortgages. So I went and did my CMAP, ran some teams of area mortgage managers. Before I left the bank, I took a regional role. So I was doing sort of the development and quality side of stuff. So getting involved in, what works from a training point of view, what the compliance side looks like. So I know the pain that a broker has in terms of getting everything right, but I also know what a rewarding job they have in terms of doing that sale, getting that client into their dream home. So it is a top quality job, and I've got full respect for the brokers who are watching this back. Once I left that large retail bank, I joined you two wonderful ladies, and I worked for Personal Touch before it became Primus. So I spent just shy of a year working there in your propositions team with you guys. So my role was the proposition development manager, and one of the things that I looked after a lot of weird and wonderful things, but one of the things was conveyancing, and hey ho, that's where I am today. So I've been working for ULS Technology for coming up to 3 years now, and Primus is obviously one of my key accounts. Hopefully you guys will echo, we kept a top quality relationship, and our relationship works really, really well. And I can see you nodding. I'll let you chip in on that.
Matt, I just want to say from me, as well as Nikki, because I know she's already thanked you, a massive thank you for coming on our first podcast. And I think you're a really good person to start with, because not only have you sat in the shoes of a broker, but you've also sat in the shoes as a big bank, as part of a network, and now you're in a conveyancer. So you kind of have worn every shoe of the sort of journey that a mortgage client and conveyancing clients are going to go through. Not only that, you've bought your own house, so which I'm sure we'll come to at some point on this call during a pandemic. But I mean, one of the things I really want the viewers of this podcast to get out of it is a bit of industry insight, not just necessarily into Primus. I mean, like, what's been happening? What are the sort of gaps that you're seeing at the moment? Where's things at with Primus conveyancing?
Thanks, Minty. Yeah, I think the sort of sentence that I always come back to and resonates with me is a mortgage monthly payment is normally the biggest monthly commitment that anybody has, unless you've got, like you, a nice fancy car that's bigger than your mortgage payment. But generally, rule of thumb is the mortgage payment will be the most expensive outgoing for a client. I guess what really baffles me with that is some research recently that was posted from TSB. 89% of clients have never considered a remortgage as a money saving option. Now, that just absolutely baffles me that there's 89% of people who either don't do anything or potentially just do a product switch. And there's nothing wrong with a product switch. It might be the best rate, but for goodness sake, shop around, find out, is it the cheapest deal if you stay with your existing lender? Or can you get a cheaper deal if a mortgage broker does you a top quality job and shops around for you? So I think that really baffles me. And that stat of 89% is huge.
Definitely. And I saw a stat recently. Experian did a survey back in September in 2020, and they said that 45% of mortgages in the market at the moment are on a standard variable rate. I mean, that's a massive saving that people could make if they just made a phone call to a broker and got them to help them research, do the product transfer, or potentially fully remortgage. I think it's insane how much could be saved from people. And these are people that aren't necessarily mortgage prisoners.
Yeah, definitely, Minty. And I think, further on to that sort of initial fact, what TSB also said in that research is those on SVR could save around £2,000 a year. Now, £2,000 a year is a serious amount of money. Don't put it in a lender's pocket, keep it in your own pocket. So I think, back to your question around the conveyancing space, that's a massive opportunity. There's a huge amount of people sitting there who could go and move lenders, do themselves a remortgage, save themselves a ton of money, then come to us and get a top quality service for the conveyancing.
Yeah, definitely. And with you guys, I mean, a lot of people can always think that conveyancing's a little bit archaic. It's all post, it's phone calls, it's waiting for documents to come out handwritten, and the industry has moved on massively and taken such huge strides forwards. And I know that you guys have a really good technology offering from just the little tidbits of conversation we had before we came on this sort of podcast. I mean, so talk to me about what you guys have got available there at Primus Conveyancing.
Yeah, of course. So you can see here, Digital Move, our logo. So Digital Move has saved so much time for clients in the conveyancing process. So, I think you touched on earlier the Royal Mail journey, or the old fashioned way where a solicitor would post out a starter pack. That'd land on a customer's doormat a few days later. They'd have to find pen and paper, fill it out, find an envelope, find a stamp, go and post it. We're living in more modern times for that. And whilst that's still suitable for some clients, and some clients can absolutely still use that journey if they want to, we need to be in the digital space, and we very much are. So what Digital Move does, just one sort of factor of it, that sort of time at the start around the Royal Mail journey is completely abolished by using Digital Move. So your brokers submit an instruction through Primus Conveyancing. The client instantly gets an email saying, "Welcome to Digital Move. Thanks for your Primus Conveyancing instruction." They log in. The starter pack's there, so the property information form, the to-do list, everything's ready and waiting. They can fill it out, jobs are good, and it's done. The best example we've got within this is 21 minutes. So just pause on that 21 minutes, because you're probably thinking, what's he shouting 21 minutes for? 21 minutes is the best example we've got where a broker submitted an instruction, a client logged into Digital Move, the client filled out the starter pack, they sent it back to the solicitor started the ball rolling within 21 minutes. That's huge. That is huge.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That is literally incredible. I'm blown away by that, because I mean, my own house moving journey, so it's been an absolute nightmare. I've had paperwork to fill it because I didn't choose Primus Conveyancing, because it was quite a while ago, and it was I was filling out paperwork, I was signing documents, I was having to go and get things certified and sent in, and it was all really quite stressful. And not just the actual process of doing the sale and the purchase, it's also the bits that come afterwards. It's the making sure you've transferred all of your post over. I mean, how much I spent on a Royal Mail redirect, I don't even want to know, because it was just obscene, because I just couldn't be bothered to ring round everybody and change things. And you guys have something to help with that. I'm not quite sure what that was. You mentioned it briefly.
Hey, we talked about me moving in a pandemic, so I have moved house in a pandemic. We won't talk about the first house I was going to buy, because unfortunately that fell through, but we did find our dream home and it went really smoothly. And one of the reasons is this: Just Move In. So Just Move In are a concierge service, and what they basically offer is they will save clients around 8 hours of time. So all you talked about there, those pain barriers, when you first turn the key in the door and walk into that new home, you've got to take the gas reading, the electric reading. You need, if you haven't already sorted out your TV package, there's so much to do, as well as moving your stuff in. What Just Move In do is they ring you before the move date. When it's all confirmed up, they will shop around for you. So my example, and I'm going to give it in pound value because I'm dead impressed with it from my own personal experience. Sky TV offered me a package. Just Move In got me the exact same package for £8 a month cheaper. So I took that. They also shopped around for my gas and electric for me. So they moved me from British Gas to Octopus Energy, and they saved me about 30 quid a month based on what the previous occupant of the house was paying. And move day was so much easier than any move I've ever done before, because all I had to do was open up my email, send them the meter readings. They did my council tax for me because I moved from Stoke-on-Trent to Staffordshire, so one borough to another. They just did it all. I didn't have to do anything other than tell them the information. So it's amazing, Minty.
All my life, Matt.
I know. And the other bit to mention is, if a client was to go directly to Just Move In's website, it's just shy of 300 quid, because you pay them for this. It's a service, it's a top quality service. If a broker ticks the box through Primus Conveyancing and says, give the details to Just Move In, it's completely free. So the broker can offer this as a free package. It's really good.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. As I was literally about to say, what's the cost of this service? Because I think I'd pay for it. So that's amazing that it's free. Oh my gosh, that's really, really good. And this is what I'm talking about when I say industry insight, because people don't know what they don't know. I didn't know some of this stuff was available. I didn't know what was out there. So to learn this sort of thing, it's incredible, really, because these are the sort of things that don't really come up on your standard sort of reading when you're going through. And also you get stuck in your client bank, don't you, doing your work for your clients. So this is amazing. Thank you so much for that insight. Obviously, to access you guys, it's all through the website. I mean, and I know that the Primus brokers have access through Toolbox. So it's an integrated system into our CRM system, Toolbox, which is obviously market leading, fabulous. So, I mean, is there anything else that we need to cover off on how they can get through to you guys? I mean, is there, your background say email and telephone service?
There is, yeah. So that telephone number at the top is a direct dial. We'll answer the phone with hello Primus Conveyancing, so you'll come straight through to us. Let us take the pain. So everything doesn't go 100% smoothly every time in a conveyancing transaction. Clients get stressed, are emotional. Let us take the pain for you. Let us help. We've got a service team there who are there to support, so give us a ring. If a broker is watching this podcast and thinking, I don't think I've got a login to that, drop us an email, primusconveyancing@ulstechnology.com. We'll get you set up. The other thing we're doing is we're doing some weekly conveyancing excellence calls. So they'll be led by myself and the wonderful Josh Timberlake, who's the telephone account manager who looks after the Primus relationship. So Josh and I will be doing some training sessions. They're looking to start on the 18th of March, which is a Thursday, and we're going to run them every Thursday at 10 o'clock, a bit like a drop-in session. Broker jumps on, we'll do a demo, we'll make sure they set up, we'll tell them all these facts that they need to know, and we'll hopefully get you guys instructing with us, and you see that we are the best proposition out there.
That's amazing. I have to make the dad joke of, is Josh the brother of Justin Timberlake? Because I would love it if he was.
Hey, do you know what? I'm going to leave that question for every single broker who joins the podcast, joins the training call, sorry, to ask him, because he'll absolutely love that.
Please do, guys. Please do. That's amazing. Absolutely love it.
That had to be you that asked that one there, Minter.
I know. Good. Can't contain me. I mean, that's fantastic. And this is the thing, right? When I say that the Primus proposition is all encompassing, it really is. Because what this is a ring fence for your client. It's showing your client you have something that fits every part of their need and their journey, whether it's through house buying process or the remortgaging process. You know, you've got something that fits every single requirement that they have. And this is sort of like the icing on the cake, which is a beautifully layered cake. So I just think that's fantastic. That's amazing.
And Minty, I haven't really touched on all of our products because we haven't got all day to talk about them, but we literally, if a broker has got a case they want to place with a conveyancer, we can do it. We do limited company buy to let, help to buy. So pick up with us if there's anything niche, weird and wonderful. I know your team are absolutely amazing at dealing with stuff like that. So pick up with us, pick up with your team. We'll sort you out. We'll place your business with a conveyancer who can help.
So Matt, I know Minty did actually touch on the fact that you are currently in Toolbox, but I know that it's not your full offering on Toolbox, and you did touch on when you was at kickoffs that any of our brokers that are viewing this will have heard you say that you're in Toolbox, but there's a lot of work to be done on Toolbox, which you are looking to do throughout 2021. Could you just kind of explain what the journey will look like compared to what it is now, and how it's going to be like another fantastic offering and improved offering during this year?
Yeah, of course I can, Nikki. So yeah, your current integration with Toolbox it only really allows access to remortgage, sale, purchase, some of our more basic products. What a new integration is going to deliver for Primus brokers is that world-class service that you guys want, and you'll have access to everything. So digital move, you know, if a broker does a quote currently in Toolbox, it won't pull through to digital move. That is going to be fixed. That will happen. And that's on the, you know, part of the roadmap and part of the journey to sort it out. So as soon as we get that sorted out, and I know that you guys, your end, are pushing. We're pushing our end. We all want that. We absolutely all want that sorting out. So it will be sorted out as soon as possible, and it will be fantastic. People will be raving about it.
So this means that basically, just to forgive me because I wasn't aware of all of this. So the broker's fact find will pull through to all the information you guys need in ULS to create that instruction, and they'll be able to access every single product that you guys can do that's appropriate for that client.
Yes, Araminta.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that.
It's absolutely fantastic for our brokers that all of this from the start of their journey with their client to instructing the conveyancing and everything, a digital move and everything on there, it's all going to be under the roof of Toolbox. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. And it is something, as you said, Matt, yes, we are pushing for at this end. You know, we'll obviously keep our brokers and anybody that's watching this that is looking to join us, obviously following this amazing podcast, we'll keep everybody updated with comms throughout the coming weeks and months. It's going to be fantastic.
I mean, that just proves why it's world class. That really does. That's just amazing. And you know, it's like Nikki just said, if you're not using this system and you're not part of this network, then please just get in touch because you're missing out. You're missing out because that's just incredible. It just goes to show again, like I said a couple of times now on this podcast, why you've got something that literally fits all of your clients' needs. That's just fantastic.
Yeah. And Minty keeps saying the world class 2 words, obviously, which leads me on to a question then, Matt. So why, if a broker is currently using Joe Bloggs down the road for their conveyancing, the solicitor, are you world class? Why should they be using you?
It's a really good question, Nikki, and I think I've got the answer for you. So
I thought you might.
Fundamentally, we would never say to a broker who's got a cracking relationship with Joe Bloggs, you need to stop using Joe Bloggs, because if they've got a cracking relationship and it works, they're probably going to want to continue to have that cracking relationship. Yeah. However, with Joe Bloggs down the road, have you got outstanding technology? Are you still filling out paper forms? Have you got access to a outstanding service desk by phoning a telephone number that can intervene, interject, support you with anything that you need. Have you got a BDM? Have you got a national account manager? Have you got a Nikki and Minty? Or if something isn't working, you can perhaps drop Nikki and Minty an email and you guys can get involved. Have you got a meet the experts desk? Because if all these things I'm talking about come as part and parcel of Primis conveyancing, Joe Blogs down the road isn't involved in Primis conveyancing. So what you might want to do is consider using Joe Blogs for some of your business and giving Primis conveyancing a go for the other parts. And I'm pretty sure you'll be that impressed with us, you'll actually switch to us, or at least continue providing a decent level of business to us. So just give us a go. All I ever say for the whole 3 years that I've worked here is, if you haven't tried us before, please give us a go. That's the best thing I can say to anyone, because you don't know what you haven't tried.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. You really don't. So give it a try, see how it goes, and go from there. Well, I think that's enough for today for our first ever vodcast. Thank you so much to everybody for viewing. I know it's been in a Zoom environment, but do you know what? We've made the best of a bad situation. 2020 threw some real curveballs at us, and 2021 looks like it's on the up. So the final thing I just want to say, and it's a massive one, is a huge thank you to Matt, because
Thank you, Matt.
You've smashed it. You've given me a load of information I didn't know. I mean, Nikki obviously did, but I didn't know half of that. So thank you so much. And I just want to say to everyone else that's watching it, thank you for watching, and tune in next month. Hear the lion roar!